28 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists. Like, how is it possible that one player is second in points, first in rebounds, and second again in assists? What kind of dominance is that? Well, it's the kind that makes Big Shaq say this.
When I look at Joker and how he plays, and this is why he's the best big man in the league.
Then, Chuck takes it even further.
The thing is crazy. Like, Joker's been the best player, really, probably for the last 3 or 4 years.
But if you ask the Joker, all you're gonna get is a joke.
I'm a cookie monster. Maybe I'm not that good defensively, but I'm a cookie monster.
But you see, Nikola Jokic's dominance is the type that the NBA will eventually get tired of, and here's why. What Jokic is doing this season isn't just dominant, it's historical. He's doing everything from dropping 29.7 points per game on 62% effective field goal shooting to running the Nuggets attack.
Jokic was absolutely spectacular in the first half. The jump shot, the three-point shooting, the spin moves, the layups, the putbacks. He had 6 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. He was all over the place. He was showing he was looking like an MVP.
See, Jokic's scoring average this season outpaces legends like Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal in their MVP seasons. With his 11.7 assists per game, he's outperforming all-time great passers like Steve Nash and Russell Westbrook during their MVP campaigns. Also, the Joker has a season score of 133.25, putting him in another stratosphere compared to current MVP candidates. For instance, Giannis sits at 113.7, which means there's a 19.5-point gap between him and his closest rival for the MVP. Historically, only LeBron James in 2010, Michael Jordan in 1988 and 1989, then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1977 have ever had a wider margin between first and second best players. Also, over a 5-year stretch, Jokic's peak season score of 123.182 ranks second in NBA history, behind only Michael Jordan's GOAT stretch from 1987 to 1991. So his peak surpasses other NBA legends like Shaquille O'Neal from 99 to 03, LeBron James from 09 to 2013, and Giannis from 2019 to 2023. Basically, Jokic's efficiency, playmaking, and impact metrics have him sitting at the same table as MJ, LeBron, and Kareem. Now, while no one can disagree with those numbers, people will always disagree with the conclusion.
People never gonna say like he's one of the greatest centers ever, but like they won't mention him. Like they gonna say Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaq, Will, all these people, but he right there. Like his numbers be just as dominant as theirs.
Listen.
Besides Will.
And when you really push it, they gonna say he's stat padding.
Okay, well, don't come giving me this stuff about a triple-double. I don't want to hear that. You know why? Because when I watch the games, okay, when I watch the, hold on. When I watch the games, I'm watching Jokic pass the ball, and I'm watching his guys catch and shoot, no hesitation, good or bad shot. And let me tell you one thing. It goes on, conversations goes on in that locker room, and players know what their stats are.
But you see, Jokic's game is well beyond the stats, as Draymond Green pointed out here.
You're playing against the Joker. It's always a tough matchup because when Joker has the ball, he's one of the better scorers in our league. I think he's averaging right around 30 points a game.
Damn.
But when he has the ball, everyone on the court is live because he can find you and get the ball wherever you are.
First off, normally a typical 7-footer should simply be living in the paint, not orchestrating the offense. But this man's player efficiency is not only rivaling Wilt Chamberlain's mythical 1961-62 season, he's doing that while making everybody on the team better. Like, this is the only player who can take credit for reviving Russell Westbrook's career, so much so that even a famous Lakers fan considers him valuable.
So Wayne, how do you explain that a slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer has been on so many teams?
I believe that means valuable. Yeah, that's why you're on so many teams. And it's in the NBA. Yes, I believe that's simple explanation right there. He's just valuable.
Not only did Joker push for the trade, but his ability to adjust his game so players like Russ can shine is beyond incredible. But it's not just Westbrook. Look at Aaron Gordon. This dude went from being a dunk contest highlight reel in Orlando to one of the most effective two-way players in the league. Why? Because Jokic puts him in positions to succeed. Gordon doesn't have to do too much. He just has to play his role, and Jokic makes that role crystal clear. And in case you're thinking Jokic just throws just any kind of passes like Perkins suggested, here's JJ Redick clearing that up.
The idea that his teammates shoot good or bad shots. So Second Spectrum, wonderful company, they installed tracking cameras in every arena 10 years ago, and their technology has evolved, and one thing we've learned from that is we can actually track which players create good shots for their teammates. And Nikola Jokic is top 5 in shot quality created.
And the same goes for Jamal Murray. When Murray is healthy, the two of them form one of the deadliest 1-2 punches in the NBA. But even when Murray is sidelined, Jokic carries the load by doing what most superstars can't: delegating. That's when you see young players like Christian Braun and Peyton Wilson get meaningful opportunities and pulling off incredible performances. But the fact that the Nuggets have stayed competitive despite injuries and, as Chuck put it, a bench that's weaker than water, proves that Jokic is the glue holding the team together. Whether it's setting up a perfect lob for Gordon, finding Russ in stride for an easy bucket, or trusting a rookie to make a big play, Jokic's impact is way beyond the stat sheet. But then again, is the NBA ready to make an unathletic player the face of the league? Here's the thing about Nikola Jokic. The numbers scream superstar, but the media doesn't always give him his flowers. Take Austin Rivers, for example, who thinks Karl Anthony Towns is better than Jokic.
He's probably the most skilled center in the NBA.
Well, Jokic is the most skilled center in the NBA.
I don't think so.
But how so? The guy's he picks apart every team he plays against. That's skill.
That's because he has the highest IQ.
But he also can shoot too. He can do everything.
Can't shoot like Karl.
Can't shoot like Karl.
No. Can't shoot like. They're not even in the same realm of shooting.
Wow. But then the fact is, when it comes to marketing NBA superstars, the league thrives on personalities that pop. The loud, the flashy, the marketable. And here's Jokic, a guy who just wants to hoop, go home, and maybe talk about his horses.
He's back in his native land now that the Nuggets season is over. If you want to find him, you got to head to the stables. And that's where a contingent of Denver brass delivered the Joker his second straight Kia MVP trophy. And after that, I had a chance to speak with him.
Many people tag his personality as the Tim Duncan syndrome. Like Duncan, Jokic couldn't care less about the spotlight. He's not hunting for viral dunks or posting cryptic tweets to stir the pot. He's all business. And while Hugh purists love that, it doesn't sell shoes or jersey bundles. Unlike LeBron with his multimedia empire or Steph with his squeaky clean family man image, Jokic stays in his lane. No desire to become a brand. No TikTok dances, just vibes and triple doubles. But it's not enough, especially when people like Gilbert Arenas call the triple doubles empty stats.
When Jordan had a historic year when he had 37 points a game, you're not close to winning the MVP. Same thing when Kobe came back and did it. Everyone on a bad team can put up real good numbers, but before, in the last 30-something years, you didn't reward individual play. We see every year, there's always some player that is on a bad team that's putting up, what do they call them, empty stats.
Empty stats.
They don't want to call this empty stats when they're losing. It just makes no sense. When we've looked at teams that showed dominance, you guys won a championship, you're supposed to come back and dominate. You have the same 4. What is the problem?
And let's be real, there's also an unspoken bias at play. The NBA has always preferred its superstars to come with a certain American-made flair. Jokic, with his Serbian roots and quiet demeanor, doesn't fit the mold. He's not about the hype or the Hollywood-style branding that the league leans on to sell its product. Contrast him with someone like Ja Morant, who's got all the sizzle, high-flying dunks, fiery trash talk, and social media presence that keeps fans glued. Quite frankly, Jokic is a marketing conundrum for the NBA. And yes, their narrative problem is real. The NBA loves its high flyers, trash talkers, and larger-than-life personalities, and Jokic is none of those things. But here's the irony. His game, his leadership, and his ability to elevate his team are exactly what the league should be celebrating. If the NBA views are down, you can rest assured that Jokic is one of the players keeping real hoopers locked in. But let's face it, the NBA has always been about entertainment as much as basketball. Players like John Morant, Zion Williamson, and even LaMelo Ball get the spotlight because they bring the flash. The kind of plays that rack up likes and retweets.
Nikola Jokic.
I love that guy.
I can't stand
You got to
him.
break that down to me. That guy's so cool.
It's simple, and it's going to sound real stupid.
Is it because his body looks like a snow cone?
It's because he is the most unathletic dude I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's why I love him, man.
Yep, hot takes run the NBA these days. Debates on ESPN aren't about who's the most impactful. They're about who had the nastiest dunk or the spiciest quote. In that kind of ecosystem, players like Jokic, who don't feed into the hype machine, get sidelined in the broader conversation. And then there's the small market problem. Denver isn't exactly LA, New York, or Miami. While the NBA promotes big market superstars to drive viewership, small market legends like Jokic don't get the same push. And the irony here is that the NBA markets itself as a global league for everyone everywhere, yet it undervalues the stars who embody the spirit of international basketball. And what about just the fact that he promotes players actually playing the game? I mean, while many superstars like Embiid and Kawhi are treating the load management idea like a free scholarship, Jokic is just playing. He's just pure, consistent, and dominant basketball. But that's exactly why the league might get frustrated with him. Jokic doesn't give the NBA what it craves: narratives. He's not out here declaring himself the GOAT or calling out rivals on social media. His dominance isn't loud. And for a league built on selling storylines, that's a tough sell. And that's why they'll do everything not to give him his 4th MVP. But here's the thing. His game is exciting. It's just a different kind of excitement. It's watching a genius at work, making impossible passes, and reading defenses like a chess grandmaster. If that's not enough to sell the game, maybe the NBA needs to rethink what it's selling. And now that the NBA views are down, this is the right time to do that. So what do you guys think about Jokic's dominance of the league? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and you should definitely watch our video on the MVP debate next.